The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, everyone. Steve Murray here with Insurance Agency Marketing Services, bright and early at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday morning. We are excited, as always, to talk about Social Security and how to increase opportunities to meet new clients using Social Security and Social Security seminars. Our guest speaker today is Dave Pimper. Dave, of course, runs Lazarus Coaching. He does coaching with us on a number of fronts here at Insurance Agency Marketing Services. Probably the most successful work that we've done with our producers over the last 12 or 14 years that we've done some coaching with Dave has been on Social Security seminars. We're going to talk about that today, and Dave is going to go over some opportunities just in general around Social Security claiming I think you will find beneficial. So we're going to go ahead and get started today. Thank you again for joining us. I want to make sure that you are all aware of some things that we do here. The RPM program and marketing reimbursement programs are tried and true programs, ways that you are rewarded for referring producers to IAMS, and that money does not come out of their pocket. It comes out of IAMS' pocket. We consider marketing expenses, and we pay that bonus to you. Right now, we generally pay them on a quarterly basis at the rate of 20 basis points on the annuity side, as a for instance, give you a good idea of how that works. You can see some of the numbers there before you as to how that would play out if you refer someone and they do a little bit of business with us. Marketing reimbursement is paid out at your request. You can request to balance your marketing reimbursement account at any time. Basically, whenever you do business with IAMS, no matter what type of business that you do, pretty generally you're going to get money put in your marketing reimbursement account. We will match your spend dollar for dollar on your marketing, so it's a great way to up your marketing budget. For those of you out there, I'm looking, I see we've got a pretty good sized group here, and it looks to me like about a third of you are brand new to IAMS. So I'm going to spend a minute or two on this just so that y'all understand it. There may be some of you out there that have been with us a while but have not yet taken advantage of your new producer bonus. Pretty simple program you can claim at any level and take advantage of, and I'll point out, for instance, like at the 300,000 point level, you see that you can get the Social Security program in a 3,000 piece mailing. At the 5,000 or 500,000 level, you can see that you can get a 4,000 piece mailing and seminar coaching with Dave Pimper. We actually increased that for Social Security to a 5,000 piece mailing. So if you wanted to claim, for instance, at the 500,000 level, the ability to kind of get in the seminar business, including getting the program, getting the slideshow, getting everything that you need as supporting documentation through horse's mouth on Social Security claiming, plus getting the coaching and getting your first mailing done, you can claim that at the 500,000 level. So it'd be really a great way to kind of get yourself easily into the into Social Security claiming seminar business, and it's a very lucrative and successful way to get in front of good clients and help them with Social Security and gain access to the opportunity to do other business with them as well. So the new producer bonus is a pretty simple program. First 180 days of being appointed with us, you do business, you at different levels with different carriers. They all accrue, you gain points, and you can claim at the 100,000, 300,000, or 500,000 point level. If you have any questions on that, I wish you would give me a call. One of our more popular programs, obviously, and one that most new producers at some level do take advantage of. We've got great back office support here, and I know that because that's one of the main compliments I get. We do a lot of, and we'll talk about it in a minute here, academies and trainings and things like that, where we do face-to-face stuff. We have a lot of incentive trips that we do, probably have a couple, 3 coming up this year. And then, of course, we also have kind of our producer council that gives me feedback, and to a man or woman, the feedback that I get that is most regular is how the level of support that we give our producers outpaces almost any of our competitors. It's to the point really where I think our competitors agree upon that. We really do a great job of getting you from the point of getting you appointed to getting you trained, to getting you to production, to getting apps in the door, to getting you paid. So our what I call submission and commission process is very well thought out and very mature. So we've got people that understand that process very well, work well with all parties, including surrendering companies, issuing companies, to make sure that goes as quickly as possible. But it really is more than that, helping you through every phase from your marketing to your to getting paid on your business is really what we do the best job of here. So hopefully you'll take advantage of that. And that's why that new producer bonus, a little bit of a loss leader, we think once people see that and feel the difference, they will appreciate it and keep coming back for more. So we've got a great creative marketing team. They do a tremendous job helping our producers with what I think is one of the areas that many producers struggle with most, and is one of the most important things they can do to kind of keep that pipeline full. There are a lot of people right now, for instance, that are really interested in the main thing that most of you work with, which is, guarantees, guaranteed income, security of retirement assets. And the thing that's standing between us and meeting many of those people is just a kind of positioning in their understanding of what we do and how we do it. And our creative services team has done a tremendous job of helping agents. So it starts off with, the simple things like your logo and your business card and your letterhead and how you communicate, and then it goes to your website so that people can kind of get a feel for you, not knock you out of the conversation because you don't have a decent quality website. And then it goes to Facebook marketing and SEO and even helping you with coordinating mailings and some of the things that you can do to help introduce people and kind of get your image right in your area so that they start coming to you. It's a process, but it's a valuable and a very profitable process that you need. If you're committed to it a little bit and you want to commit to it a little bit, I would say call our creative services team and allow them to assist you. They know your business, they know how you operate, because they've seen it from producer after producer after producer. We've been doing this for 32 years, and frankly, it's really only the last 12 or 14 that we've delved into this. But the guys over there know what they're doing and have done it for other folks, so they can really make it simple. And it just comes down to, hey, how much do you want to promote yourself locally? The creative service department can then gauge their program to you and get you set up. And of course, they're doing this. It's not a profit center for us at all. It's anything that we can do to make it more efficient money-wise for you and make it more efficient time-wise for you. We want to do that because the way that it works for everybody is that if you see that we're producing value for you, and we are producing value for you, it's going to help you grow your business. And there's a level of appreciation over time that I think has been the root of our success here at IAMS, is kind of helping build folks get where they want them to be. And then, the people, you all know that people that help you get what you want and make things possible for you, you reward for years to come. And so we've kept really solid relationships doing things just like that. And they'll be a great asset to you if that's something that you want to do with your business, is kind of get that that image, that persona built. IAMS website, we got some great tools out there. For many of you that may have looked at it, say as recently as a couple months ago, there's enough new stuff out there that I would encourage you to look at the website again. And I'd really say look at it with, call up one of our sales directors and say, hey, this is what I do. Show me the tools on your website that would be valuable. Almost always that involves showing you our annuity product finder. I call it our annuity search engine. That's a great tool. Almost always that involves taking you to our sales library, which has everything from forms that you can use in some of the most complicated life insurance sales, all the way to referral tools that you can use to search out people in your particular area that might be good prospects for you, all the way to things that you can show directly to your client and with branded for you to help you through the sales process. So it's really that sales resource library is a great tool. It's something that we pay a fairly high price for, and I still think it's probably one of the most valuable things that we do. So there's a lot of great stuff on that website, and I would encourage you all to take a peek there if you haven't in the last couple of months. And like I said, let a sales director walk you through it and say, okay, this is what I do. What on this website do I need to know about? Retirement Analyzer. So if you're not using a program like this in your business right now, I would say to look at it really is kind of almost a retirement planning software package that is built to help you and help your clients understand where they stand on their path to a retirement that they want. And so what it really does sometimes without you can see just from looking at there's red and green, and there's what it in a very colorful and picturesque way helps you help your client understand where their shortfalls are and where they might have some mismatches in terms of things that they expect and things that actually are going to come true at their retirement. And it incorporates Social Security in those numbers. And we make this program available to anyone that's appointed with IAMS at our cost. And if you've ever looked at the Retirement Analyzer, you know that's not a small cost. But from our standpoint, it's been valuable because it really has helped quite a sizable group of our producers be more efficient and effective in getting much higher amounts of not just annuity business, but for our guys that are in the retirement asset business, it's helped them gain additional folks as well. So been a very valuable tool. If you have questions on that, if you'd like to maybe chat with Marcus Soller here in our office who handles that, he can walk you through it, get you log in, let you take a peek at it, spend some time with you and show you how it works. And then from there, it just takes off. And it's not for everyone. You know, it takes there's a lot of information that has to go into it, but it can be very valuable. And I would encourage you all to at least take a peek at it. Again, we take care of that initial cost. I'm going to get moving along here. I've talked too long as always. So IAMS Wealth Management, I'm going to put a poll up here. If you have considered maybe starting RIA or becoming an investment advisor rep, I would encourage you to take a minute and check yes on this poll that I'm going to hopefully launch here in just a moment. Wealth management right now is a great tool, regardless of what's happened on the DOL side, to get your revenue numbers up and more stable. As you know, assets under management they pay you out on an annual or actually a monthly basis, and that's year after year after year. So for those of us that may be primarily in the annuity business, where I used to get that one pop-up commission and then being unemployed the next day, this is a great way to put some stability in your bottom line. It's a great way to meet more clients than you have met in the past. There's just no doubt that if you have this as part of your business, retirement asset management part of your business, you're going to gain new clients and you're going to get more of their assets. So it's going to strengthen those relationships. The key, there we go, let me launch that. The key here is with IAMS Wealth Management, the background of that firm kind of comes from working with a lot of folks that would call the at least the beginning of their professional life kind of came on the insurance side. So we can help you out there, if that's your background, understand how to transition, keep that insurance part of your business in place and transition to add this to your business in a very seamless and easy way. We've developed platforms that are straightforward and very easy to explain, and we did that by design. And then we have a group there that is like the rest of the IAMS group in general, is really very understanding of what it takes and helping you at every step of the way. So if you come from the securities background, or if maybe you come from another wealth management firm, you know that they become very administrative. This is, they almost become like your watchdog, which is important, obviously, in that business as well. But you also need someone that's going to encourage you, and how do we do business, and what are the sales processes, and how does that work? So we'd like to say that, we're going to help you grow your business and then watch over it to make sure that you stay compliant. So we're just not in the business of hawking over you for compliance, but rather helping you grow that business. And everyone that has come to us from another firm, that's kind of been the main difference that they have noticed and how that's helped them grow their business. So if that's your background, that's great. If you're considering, hey, maybe I need to add this, I'd like to say that everything that the DOL brought to light is gone, but it's not. It's going to come back, and there's going to be iterations of it that we cannot predict yet. Whatever those iterations are, I think we can be pretty certain that the ability to offer other than just insurance products is going to help you with that process and help you grow your business and give you an advantage. So if that's something that you still want to do, you might as well join a firm that kind of is built on helping folks just like you transition over to that business. We can help you get set up with everything that you need as far as testing and registration, and help you through that process and get you up and running just as quickly as possible. So that's a really good group for that. If you have interest and you want to talk with those folks, just check yes on that poll. If that's something that you're ignoring right now and don't want to make part of your business, or you're really happy with your current firm, you're really happy with your payouts and really happy with your expenses associated with your current firm, then please check no on that. There's nothing sillier than trying to interrupt a relationship that's working. But if it's not working, or if you think that there might be some opportunity to improve what you're doing there, give us a call. Or if you're thinking that you might want to look at this and see what the ins and outs of maybe adding assets, managed assets to your business, give us a call on that as well. We'd love to help you. I appreciate that you have all taken the time to vote. Looks like there's on a voting day. Looks like you're all well ready to do just that. So I appreciate you doing that. I'm going to go ahead and close that poll out. There's a couple of you that haven't voted, and I'm guessing that might be because you're unable to. If you want to talk with someone in the wealth management side, give any one of our sales directors a call here at the office, 800-255-5055. We'll be glad to give you, put you in touch with them. And certainly if you want to talk a little bit more about how we can help you on that side before you talk to them, the sales directors can help you with that as well. So thank you again for your quick voting. I'm going to close that poll out. If you have any questions, need anything there, give us a call here at the office. And I'm going to get moving on here a little bit. This is going to involve another poll. We have already finished up our academies for the year, but we are looking at an academy earlier than usual in 2019. We may do that at a nice southern location. As you all know, we tend to do those maybe here in the Midwest, whether it's in Iowa or here in Omaha, but we may look at doing one in a different location so that we can start off earlier in 2019. That being said, if you look at some of the things that we include in that 2-day training, the first one, as always, is the most important one. So you're going to have opportunity to hear some great tips from some folks just like you, very successful top producers, to help you with some ideas and some strategies to grow your business, whether you're trying to increase your single premium life business, increase your annuity business, increase your regular life business. They've got great ideas, very helpful, not just at the academy, but post-academy. Also gives you a chance to meet many people just like yourself that are looking to grow their business. And if you've never done a meeting, been to a meeting like this, where you've been able to spend some time with producers that are doing the same thing that you're doing, which is, actively looking for ways to find better ways to grow your business. There's a lot of great synergy with a meeting like that. A lot of ways, a lot of people that you can meet, not just the presenters, and not to say that the presenters aren't a great benefit as well. So if you have interest in joining us for an academy in 2019, I want you to check yes on that poll. And then what you'll get is you'll get a registration form and you'll get a sample itinerary. Those itineraries stay relatively the same. It's been a successful formula year after year for the past 15 years now. So we haven't, we're not changing that a lot. We do a 3-day, you're out of your office for 3 days. Wednesday we bring you in, we have dinner, we start that evening, we go all the next day. Again, we have dinner, plenty of time for social interchange there in the evening. Then we go Friday for half of the day, have lunch, and get you back on the road. We're going to take care of your expenses. We're going to take care of your flight, your driving expenses, your hotel, your meals while you're there, all the social gatherings, libations, and things associated with that. We're going to take care of those expenses. Your commitment is that time out of your office. We know that's valuable. When you leave, you will say that it was some of the best time that you've ever spent away from your business, and we know that's saying something. So there's a great value here. We'll probably have 4 to 5 academies next year, as it seems to be setting up right now. If you want to be included in one of those, check yes. We'll get you out the information. If you look at it, it's something for sure that you want to go forward with. Send in your registration. As we have academies come up, the dates arise, we'll give you a call and see if those fit into your schedule. So it is not for everyone. There are some people that it's not a great fit for, I will admit. But for those that it is, it can be really life-changing in the benefits that you can get there. Really recognizing the industry is one of the best if you're looking for more sales, marketing ideas, maybe looking for a little bit of product education. So there's slow voting going on here. Many of you haven't voted. I'd like to close that poll out. So those of you that are still on the fence, obviously a no is an okay answer. If you have been in recently, if you don't feel that that would be beneficial to your business, if you feel like you've got your sales and marketing all kind of lined up for 2019 just where you want it, then this is not going to be a good use of your time. By all means, check no on that poll. I would appreciate that as well as a yes. And now you all are responding and voting very quickly. So what I'm going to do in the interest of time is I'm going to close that out. Again, I know that there's some of you that are just listening and not able to vote. Give me a call here at 800-255-5055 if you would like to receive that registration information and a sample agenda, and I will get that right out to you. So I'm going to close that out here right now. Thank you all for voting. I can tell Dave is getting antsy, so I'm going to move things along here. We've got our Marketing Summit, Top Producers Escape. It will go on at the Ritz-Carlton. That's down at Naples, Florida. That picture does not do that place justice. It sits right on the beach in the beautiful area of Naples, Florida, probably the premier beach in that area, which is saying something because that's some of the nicest beaches in the world, I think, right in there. That hotel sits right on the beach, and we're going to bring about 70 of our closest friends and their guests down to Naples. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have a lot of fun, and you're going to have a chance to, again, not only have a great time with your guest and meet some other producers like yourself, but you're also going to have a little opportunity to be recognized and get a couple of sales and marketing ideas from some professionals. So we'd love to have you come down there and join us. We still have plenty of time to qualify. Qualification does not end until June 30th. You can see the qualification levels. Right now is an especially great time to do business because there are a lot of end-of-the-year cash rewards and bonuses out there, and kind of double qualifications you can do with our, because you're qualifying for our convention, and a lot of times you're qualifying for a company convention at the same time. So it's a great time to kind of wind up your business and get going. So I hope that you'll call your sales director and ask them how you can do business and get down at the Ritz-Carlton at the IAMS Top Producers Conference. Okay, here we go. The centerpiece of today's webinar is Dave Pimper, the president of Lazarus Coaching, and his knowledge and past successful track record with Social Security claiming strategies and seminar marketing is really very valuable to all of our producers. For those of you that maybe don't know a little bit about Dave, he's probably up to about 500 total seminars. He has been a sales coach with us for about 13 years now and done a great job with us and many of our producers over the years. Understands better than almost anyone that I know all of the intricacies of Social Security claiming and how to present them in a seminar method, and how to move from helping clients with their Social Security to helping them understand how you can also help them with their other retirement assets. In other words, making the transition. That seems to be really the key to success there. So Dave Pimper has been a great asset to us, and now he's going to be a great asset to you as he teaches you more about Social Security claiming. So with that, I'm going to turn over the mic. Dave happens to be in office today, so I'm going to turn over the mic to Dave right now. Thank you all for joining us.
Hey, Steve, thank you very much. I appreciate you being on the webinar with us today. A lot of folks, and that's great. We got them from both coasts and through the Midwest. So a lot of folks want to learn about and hear about Social Security claiming. And remember this, all that knowledge in the world doesn't make you a penny. But if you're in front of people that have money and you're giving that information to, that's a whole nother situation. That's what we're talking about today, marketing Social Security strategies. And we do that through seminar marketing. So is seminar marketing for everybody? No, it's not. But I will say this, if the shoe fits, it's kind of like Cinderella's shoe. I was just talking with another advisor this morning. I had an appointment in Omaha. I have an office location in Omaha. And what happens is that he was talking about how that he just had his Social Security seminar and how many appointments, he was pretty darn happy with it. It's interesting because we used to, sometimes we will do them almost every month, maybe barring 1 or 2 summer months and maybe barring December. But we just got out of 2 Social Security workshops off the same mailing, west side of Omaha. And we had 40 some came between the 2 nights. And we ended up getting 14 appointments. I'm very happy with that. Anything above 10 appointments, I'm happy with. And we did it in my little town of Fremont, Nebraska, town of 26,000. On just a one-night standalone, we mailed to 3,000 people. And we ended up getting 6 appointments, and I was very happy with that also. So between the 3 nights of Social Security workshops, we got 20 appointments in. And of those 20 appointments, there's no doubt that we're going to write some business. There's going to be a fit for what we show to some of the folks coming in and talking about Social Security. If you have any questions, certainly type them on in, and then we will answer those at the end of any questions that you do have. Social Security is complicated. If I asked you do you know when Social Security started? Social Security started in 1935 under FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Yeah, and it got into law, actually went through the Supreme Court, and in 1940 was the actual first check after Social Security got funded. Back then, the age was 65. Couldn't take early, couldn't take later. You took at 65. And then later they went in, there was no taxation on it. Later they went in and they changed those rules. So in very simple College 101 Social Security maximization planning, there's 3 ages or dates that are important. 62 is the earliest you can start. At 70, you better start taking or you just lose the benefit. And then there's a age in the middle called full retirement age. So if you're born between 1943 and 1954, your full retirement age is 66 years of age. If you're born in 55 like I was, I'm 63 years old, I was born in 55, it's 66 years in 2 months. If you're born in 56, it's 4 months. If you're born in 57, it's 6 months. And the latest that it goes is born 1960 or later, your full retirement age is 67 years of age. Now, what happens is if you take earlier than full retirement age, you get the benefit now, sooner, but it's reduced. If you take later than full retirement age, it grows, and it grows a lot. It grows 8% a year. If you throw cost of living on there for this year, that's 10%. It's guaranteed to grow. Next year, cost of living is 2.8% or COLA, retail inflation. Yeah, it's 2.8%. So it grows 10.8% next year, guaranteed by the U.S. government. It's a pretty big deal. You have a $2,000 benefit and wait 1 year, you get an extra $200 for life. You wait 2 years, $400 for the rest of your life. Yeah, so it's a great pension in a short period of time. But that's the basics of how Social Security works. Now, one of the interesting things about Social Security is very few people really understand Social Security claiming. Only 3% of all of the private citizens, John Q. Public, know about Social Security and the way that they could go up and give us a seminar on it or a webinar like this. And amazingly enough, only between 15 and 20% of all advisors, that means brokers, agents, RIA, insurance, only about 15 to 20% of those folks know it well enough to be able to go in and give a webinar or a seminar. So what happens is not many people really understand Social Security claiming, and somebody in your area needs to have that expertise. It might as well be you. Yeah. I mean, I get calls from lawyers, I get calls from CPAs, I get calls from other agents. I mean, to tell me, here's the situation, what would be the best thing? And of course, you can buy software. There's some free software. It's not as good as the ones you buy, but it really analyzes the very specifics on Social Security. So what we're going to do today, those are the actual slides that I show at the seminar itself. We don't have as many. That seminar takes about an hour. It takes me about an hour and 5 minutes to get through it. I start normally at 6 o'clock because people are normally still working. And they go on in, and it lasts till about 7:05. It's not a dinner seminar. So this is a strong enough subject for people to come on their own. And I will say this, if you're working with the pre-retired and just retired crowd, and you don't really understand Social Security, I'm going to tell you, you might be able to get by, but you should. It'll make you a better advisor because income from Social Security plays such an important role for many, many people. If you have any questions, certainly type them in and we'll answer them at the end. So this is kind of interesting. We mail out to ages 58 through 67. That's the ages, because you know what? You really don't start thinking about Social Security until you're 56, 57, 58 years of age, do you? No. You know what? I just thought it was a government ripoff when they started taking out this taxation. I didn't know what payroll taxes or FICA, Federal Insurance Contributions Act, stood for. Yeah, but you know what? This is when you really start thinking about, man, I'm really am going to be retiring here pretty soon. So those are the types of questions that the people have when they come to the seminar itself. They want to find answers for questions like, when should I apply? What's the best age to apply? I have a spouse. I heard that you can coordinate benefits with your spouse. Are they still available, like file and suspend and restricted applications? If I delay, how much more will I earn? If I take early, how much less will I get? Survivor benefits, divorce benefits. There was a new Social Security law, the Bipartisan Budget Act of 2015, that did change some things, especially for spousal benefits. And the one thing, I just came off of an appointment, and I met with the fella, and he asked, we were talking about Social Security. He goes, I'm not counting on getting a bit of Social Security. That's the mode of operandi out there, but you know what? It's not true. Social Security is strong. You can't believe the politicians when they say that Social Security is bankrupt. You know what? Probably what you don't know is that since 1982, Social Security has ran a surplus on income every single year. Since 82. How many years ago that is? A ton. Now, they might run a deficit this year. Next year, the year after, for sure, they'll probably run a deficit. And then with the baby boomers retiring and taking Social Security, there's no doubt that, yes, it will start really running at a deficit, not at a surplus as we have for the past 40 plus years. But I will tell you this, is that you having the knowledge to go, like this guy had all kinds of Social Security questions today, and I was able to answer those for him. And we got all done, and he had some money that's actually with another advisor, not the happiest with. And I said, would you be open to letting me take a look at it? And he said, well, yeah, I would. Well, you know what? One of the reasons is because of Social Security. Absolutely. Okay. Again, any questions at all, certainly type them on in. You see many more articles like this. Popular Social Security strategies nixed. You never saw that back 15, 20 years ago. But seminar marketing, it's very timely. Few people understand. Social Security, I get across to them in a simplistic way. I really start at 3,000 feet. I might go down to 2,000 feet. I don't get down to 500 and 100 feet above the ground in the very specifics and minutiae of Social Security. Because you know what? If you just stay general, like we're going to, and give them the simplistic kind of way, that truly does go over their head. Those seminars are more educational in nature. They're less salesy in nature because it's not a dinner workshop. You don't hear from like FINRA or the state insurance regulators they talk about dinner workshops all the time of how, they can be high pressure. You don't hear much about, hey, don't be doing educational Social Security workshops without a meal. They really don't care if you give them, I call them the 3 C's. If you give them Cokes, cookies, and coffee, that's just fine. You give them a meal, and it's like now you're trying to sell something. So, it has to be regulatory, of course, but there's not one product that is mentioned in Social Security, okay? I always say the prospects need us more than we need them. They'll hunt you down to get that report, that analysis. pretty high conversion ratio. I mean, even higher, I think, than dinner workshops. But transitioning from Social Security, which doesn't make us a thing, gives great information to our client or prospect, but to closing business, that transition took me a while to figure out. In fact, I lost some business in the very beginning because I didn't figure it out. But we've got a transitioning track now that we get to you and we role play through to with you. It's pretty good. And you're not doing something brand new. You're doing a process, kind of a turnkey process of Social Security seminar marketing. So will it be there for me? Yes, I can tell you right now that it will. Now, remember I talked about full retirement age, and Social Security Administration really likes acronyms. FRA. Do you know what FRA stands for? It stands for full retirement age, or commonly called the normal retirement age. Remember, if you're born from 43 to 54, actually, not if you're born on January 1, that goes into the Social Security wise, it goes in the past year. But if you're born on the 2nd of January all the way to the 31st of December, that year, then, like if you're born from 43 to 54 in that time period, your full retirement age is 66. That's the earliest full retirement age as of today. And it goes all the way up to 67 if you're born 1960 or later. So what happens is there's only 1 year difference between 66 and 67. You might see this going up for younger beneficiaries here in the future because we are going to start running a deficit. Like I told you, we're not now, but we will be running a deficit in the future. But a little baby born today at the local hospital, what's the full retirement age? You guessed it, 67. May not be in the future, but it is now. So here, what if you apply for benefits early? So it says you'll receive a percentage of your PIA. So that's your primary insurance amount. PIA, primary insurance amount. That's your dollar amount of your Social Security benefit at full retirement age. So it's PIA at FRA. Yeah, they like acronyms. So if you take, you can tell you, if you have $1,000 benefit at 66 and you take it 62, yeah, you know what happens is you have a 25% reduction. $1,000 is now worth $750. Well, you say, well, what's good about that? Well, you get the benefit right now. Get the benefit right now. So just to let you know, if you wait later than full retirement age, now your benefit grows. It's called a delayed retirement credit. Everything's done off of full retirement age. If you take early, it's called an actuarial reduction. If you take later, it's called a delayed retirement credit or a delayed credit. It's guaranteed by the government to grow 8%. So if you wait from 66 to 67 in that 12-month time period, that's 2/3 of 1% a month that grows, compounds on a monthly basis. Well, I shouldn't say it compounds. It's credited on a monthly basis. It grows to 8% in a year. Now remember, cost of living, if there is a cost of living, and there's been only 3 times there hasn't been a cost of living increase since they started cost of living increases Congressional Act in 1975, what happens is, like this year, it's 2%. So it doesn't grow just 8%, it's 8 plus 2% COLA. It's growing 10% guaranteed. You have a $2,000 benefit, you wait 1 year, it's grown $200. You wait 2 years, it grows $400. You wait 3 years, it grows $600. 3 years to grow $600 for a pension. How long would it take you in the private sector for that money to grow to $600 off of it? It would take you years and years, way longer than 3 years. Now, what's very interesting about this is 43% of the people take as early as they can, age 62. 80% of the people take by full retirement age. And get a load of this, 2% of the people wait to 70. 2. I am. Now I'm going to be working. I don't have to have that Social Security income coming in, but growing 8% plus cost of living, guaranteeing a 10 or 11% return on your money for an income, you can't get that in a commercial annuity. No, you can't get that in any kind of guaranteed investment. You know what? A 10-year treasury note right now is paying just over 3%. And this is going to go on in and it's going to guarantee you 8% plus cost of living. It's one of the greatest things. Now, why wouldn't you want to wait? There's 3 reasons why you would take early. You know what they are? 3 reasons. There's 2 good ones, there's 1 horrible one. What's the best reason to take early? You're flat broke. You're out of money. You need the income. Can't survive without it. That's a pretty motivating thought process of taking Social Security early. You bet. That's worthwhile. What would be the second thing to take early? You just don't think you're going to live very long. You're not going to live long enough. Break even. You got to probably, on a single person, you got to probably live 78 to 79 years of age. Well, if you die before that, the government wins. If you die after that, then you beat the government. But let's say that your DNA is just not very good. Let's just say you're not in very good health. You've already had a stroke, or you've already had a heart attack, or you've got diabetes. Yeah, you got cancer. Yeah. You know what? Then you would take early because you may not live long enough to really enjoy it. And what's the one reason that's bad? And I say this at this seminar: ignorance. Not knowing of what your choices are. Doesn't mean you're stupid. You might have the highest IQ there is, but you may know nothing about maximization on Social Security. And what I do is I tell people that's why you're here tonight. That's why you're in this room, so you can learn, so you've got choices. And you can take your best choice to go in and to take that Social Security benefit. So in kind of simplistic form, let's talk about the spousal benefit. Here's how it works. John's PIA. What does PIA stand for? Primary insurance amount. The amount at full retirement age is $2,000. Jane's also full retirement. Her primary insurance amount is $800. Here's what happens is that the spousal benefit, as long as John takes, Jane has the option of taking her benefit, which is $800, or as long as John takes his, or is taking his, she can take half of the spouse, whichever is higher. What's higher between $800 and $1,000? $1,000, of course, is that $200 top up or top off. That's just extra money. Now, this is the interesting thing. Say Jane was a stay-at-home mom. Say she's got 12 kids and she volunteers to boot. She hasn't put her 40 quarters of credits in. That's how long you need. Basically need 10 years of work to apply for your Social Security benefit. So Jane has never had a benefit. Hers is $0. John takes his. Jane can take all of hers if she never worked at $0, or she can take half of John's $2,000, and now it's $1,000. Yeah, same benefit. Now, if John doesn't take his, then Jane can't take half of his until he does. He's forced to take his at 70. So from full retirement age, it could certainly go out. If you're born between 43 and 54, it could go out the 4 years from 66 to 70. Then Jane would jump up to $1,000. There's 2,670 some rules with Social Security claiming. Ridiculous. But I'll tell you what, as a social program goes, I would say that it is probably the best social program in the world. There's a lot of things the government does that I don't like, but this is, and there's certainly things they do that I like, but this is one thing that I do like. Social Security was manufactured, put together in the 30s by FDR, kind of part of the New Deal of helping mainly widowed wives, single women that were getting up in retirement age, because I think it was 70 plus of those women were destitute. And this was a way for them to go in and have some income as long as they worked. It's an extremely good social program, and it does benefit. Over 40% of the people rely on Social Security as the major part of their income. How about divorce spouse benefits? I always say it's the triple play with divorces. Here's the triple play. Here's what has to line. Here's the 3 moons that have to line up. First of all, your marriage had to last 10 years or longer. Didn't have to be a happy marriage, just had to last. 10 years or longer. The second thing is that you are currently unmarried. And the third thing is that your ex has to be at least 62. If all those moons line up around Saturn, you know what? Perfect. Then you can go in and you can use your ex just as if you were still married to them. Remember this, there's a benefit, a generous benefit of spousal privilege when it comes to Social Security. Now, if you get remarried, it goes away. Okay? But as long as you're unmarried. So I'm not going to go into all, but that's how, from a divorce spouse benefit, it's one of the bigger benefits that is not used within the system. Survivor benefits, meaning someone passes. So this is an example again. And remember, Social Security is gender neutral, makes absolutely no difference, female to male, male to female. Normally, in that baby boomer generation, a couple things come into play. Many times the female is a little bit younger than her male counterpart in the marriage. And the second, it seems like because women did stay home some with their family and wasn't in the workforce. I just saw one yesterday she was out for 5 years, and when they got into kindergarten and first grade, then she went back to work. But you'll see normally a little higher, normally, not always, of course, but a higher beneficiary benefit on Social Security with men than you do women. So here's the example. Joe and Julie are married. They're both full retirement age. If they're born between 43 and 1954, that'd be 66 years of age. Joe's benefits $2,000. His wife's benefits $1,200. Joe dies. Joe dies. Now, Julie has an option. She can say, great, I'll just let Joe's benefit go and keep mine. Or the option is she can let hers go and she can go in and request Joe's benefit. She can jump up to the bigger benefit. So they had $3,200 of family benefit, $2,000 and $1,200. One benefit's going to go. You might as well have it, the small one. Now, what's interesting about this is she has to notify Social Security. It's not done like a spousal privilege that's done automatically. In fact, at a seminar 3-4 years ago, I had a lady that comes in. She goes, I'm really concerned. She said, my husband died 6 years ago. 6 or 7, maybe it was 7. It was 7 years ago. She said, and I went in, and I don't know who she asked. I mean, I don't think it was Social Security, but she said, I was told that you couldn't jump up to your husband's benefit. And so I've always kept mine. Hers was $1,400 at the time of death. His was $1,800. That's $400. That's almost $5,000 a year times 7 years. She lost out on almost $35,000 worth of benefit because she never went in and requested it. She didn't notify Social Security, and she was really unhappy. I mean, like unhappy. And I said, do not kill the messenger here. I'm just giving you the information. But she was happy about this. We were able to do a do-over on 6 months worth of retroactive benefits. So she did get $2,400 out of the deal on a check to her. See, she got something. Now she gets the bigger benefit. And that's why I tell my audiences, don't try to do this on your own. Don't be the Lone Ranger that says, I'll just do all the investigation myself. You need to talk to someone like myself who's been around this, been seeing the ins and outs, knows the innuendos when it comes to Social Security claiming. And that's powerful. It's powerful for the folks who are at the seminar itself. If you have any questions on this, certainly type them on in. So coordinating spousal benefits, for the first thing is the Bipartisan Budget Act of 2015. There was something called file and suspend. It got phased out in 6 months, very quick. Restricted application is getting phased out in 8 years, much slower. So if you're born on or before January 1st of 1954, meaning you were 64 on January 1st of this year, then you can still do restricted application. If you're younger, like I was born in April of 55, well, darn it, I missed out on restricted application. So I missed out, my wife and I missed out on like about $21,000 worth of benefits that I could have had. And I don't want to think about it because it might make me cry, but it is what it is. But if you're old enough, this is one of the nice things about being older. If you're 64 on January 1 of this year, yeah, then you can go in and do a restricted application, or you have that choice that you can do that. So let's go in. Let's talk a little bit about a restricted application. File and suspend is gone. Restricted application, if you're that age, it's still available. So if you're 64 or older on January 1 of this year, here's what happens is you can, just stay with me. This is complicated if you haven't heard it before, but restricted application just means that you're going to let, at full retirement age, you can't do it before, you're going to let your benefit grow the 8% delayed retirement credit, guaranteed, plus cost of living. You're going to let that grow. And your wife is already taken, or the spouse is already taken. You're going to go in and be able to take half of her benefit. It's just like free money. So let's say, let's kind of just make it simpler and easy terms. But Mike and Mary, they're 66 years of age. That's Mike's full retirement age. His PIA, primary insurance amount, at 66 is $2,000. Mary's PIA primary insurance amount is $800. Mary files for her benefit at 66. She wants some income coming in. She's not, say, working longer. Mike is still working. So he wants to delay his benefit until he's not going to retire until he's over 70. So he goes in and does something called a restricted application. He's restricting his application only to a spousal benefit. You normally can only take one spousal benefit at a time. So he stops his instantly, never took a payment from it, a benefit from it. In the eyes of Social Security, he started his and then delayed it. And in doing that, he is, as long as Mary has started hers, he's able to go in and take half of the spousal benefit. Half of 800 is 400. So he's not taking his. He gets $400 from his wife plus her 800. That's 1,200 total. Now remember that $400. No one does this. Hardly anyone, unless they go to a workshop or talk to a person like myself. Just think how strong that is. I just had an optometrist, and his wife was a executive. Not executive. It was the manager of a big retirement planning home. Did very well. Both make over $100,000. They came in from a Social Security workshop, and this is just, I mean, actually I'm meeting with them for the fact finding appointment today at 4:00. What happens is that they came in for Social Security. He took his. He's 67. She just turned 66. They never heard about restricted application until the night that they came in and talked to me. We're going to do a retroactive benefit because it's been out 8 months or 9 months. They get 6 months of retro. So they're going to go on in at his is about $2,400. He has a high benefit. So that's 1,200 times 6. So $7,200 they're going to go in and get a lump sum check for, because of I told them to ask for the retro, which they'll be able to get. Then she's going to restrict her application so she can go in, because her husband's already started. She's going to let hers grow and take half of his. She's going to take $1,200 on an ongoing basis up until she's 70. But the perfect thing is, when I started looking at what they had, she has a dormant 401k. She left her employ back 2 years ago. She never moved this money, just under $500,000. And I asked her, would she, after I showed her all this, would she be open to let me give her some ideas on that? And she said, sure, absolutely. One of the big reasons is what I knew about Social Security. Then he has never put into a retirement plan. Isn't that interesting? Still full-time practicing. But he's got $500,000 in his checking account. And he said he's willing to free up $200,000 of that. Well, all of a sudden it's a $700,000 that I'm going to propose on. And I will be very surprised if I don't get that. I wonder how many workshops that pays for. Can you say a ton? Yeah. But that's how this works. I got trust with them in my educational background with Social Security, and then I transitioned out and I did that. And you'll see this. I do it through called the 5 pillars of income. Those 5 pillars are wages, pensions, investable assets that could be turned into income, RMDs, required minimum distributions, and then how Social Security fits with all of that. Yeah, it's just such a neat planning tool when it comes to gathering assets. So you know what Social Security can do and can't do? They can estimate your biggest benefit now, but you know what they can't do? When you go down to the Social Security office, legally they can't offer advice. They cannot give you advice. In fact, I found this hard to believe until I found it off the POMS manual of the Social Security claiming guide. It says, D, provide enough information so the claimants can make informed choices, but do not give advice. Is that bizarre? But I'm happy about this. You know why? Because it allows advisors like Dave Pimper, who has an expertise around Social Security claiming, or if you want to take coaching and really understand Social Security and then market it through seminars, it's kind of killing two birds with one stone. You can learn, and I coach it in a way that's very learnable. There's a little bit of homework and reading that you got to do, but you will leave those 5 sessions before your seminar. You won't know everything, but you're going to know a lot more than you know more. But get a little of this. They cannot give advice. We can give advice. They don't want liability. We all have errors and omissions, but we're never giving information about an investment or an annuity or insurance product. We're giving advice about when to apply for the best benefit for them. And we've got software, of course, that we purchase that helps do that. Remember, I talked about the 5 pillars of income: work, pensions, income producing assets, RMDs, and Social Security. I always say Social Security is by far the most flexible of those 5 pillars of income. Now, on the slide itself, we do not have that actual evaluation form, but everybody, we give them a green packet. I'm Dave Pimper. I call it the Pimper propaganda packet. I mean, it has a bio on me. It has some articles that were written up in the paper on me in a magazine. So it gives me a little bit of credibility. You could use your own thing there. But they at the end of the workshop, I have them pull this out. I say, if you mark yes that you want to take a consultation, then we've got 2 weeks. The next 2 weeks are blocked off for dates and times. You know, the reason I superimpose this on the screen is that this yellow evaluation sheet that sets up the appointment, it goes hand in hand when you start talking about those pillars of income. Also, those pillars of income, when I ask, where do you work now? How much are you making now? Do you think you'll work part-time when you retire? How about pensions? Are you lucky enough to have a pension? And then I talk about, actually, I have the third one is income producing assets. Let's talk about your 401k. Let's talk about your IRAs, your Roth IRAs. Let's talk about savings at the bank that are in CDs. How about investments you have on the outside that are taxable? How about any kind of a property, farm property, rental property? How about whole life insurance? I mean, we go through everything. And you know what? Almost everyone tells you everything. And what you're trying to do is find an asset in there you can work with. Do I always work with folks their entirety of investments and savings? Absolutely not. I mean, absolutely not. That was a little unique. I mean, but you know, that guy, he isn't going to give me 500,000. He said, I'll let you work with 200,000. That's great. And I told him, you know what, hopefully you'll be real impressed with this, and maybe of that other 300,000, maybe you'll free up another 100. He goes, I might. But the reason they were there is because of what my knowledge was with Social Security. Otherwise, I don't have that prospect at all. And so I just can't tell you, not many people can do this, but I can, and I can coach people and train people of how Social Security works. Also, once you coach with me, not just during the coaching time, but at any time, you can go on and call me, email me. I mean, I might be in an appointment, but I will call back quickly, and you can use me as a source from there on out. So, horse's mouth, we buy a third-party system. It's a little over $500. It has the analysis. It has the calculator. There's a question and answer that you can go to them, but you can certainly call me too. I'm more than happy to help you. It's got about 300 pages of written material that I want you to read 200 of those pages. That's really up to date. It's a very good system. For 500, we couldn't recreate it here at IAMS for that type of expense. It says they're presented over 400 public seminars. Actually, it's 481 public seminars I've done as of that last Social Security. I've done a lot of them since the mid-'80s. I make a complicated subject less complicated, easier to understand. 30 plus attachments go out to you. A lot of those are articles. So if we talk about restricted application, I get out to you an article on restricted application. We talk about survivor benefit, I get out a couple articles, 2 or 3 articles on survivor benefits. But it's a proven system, and I make my money by coaching. I coach 5 sessions for approximately 45 minutes each. I'm not in your hierarchy. I'm not in your override system. I do my majority of my income that comes in, of course, is from same as you are. I mean, I'm investing for folks. I'm financial planning for folks through financial strategies, but I make $750 for coaching training fees, and IAMS comes in as long as you're working with them and contracted through IAMS. That's the FMO that Steve Murray is the co-owner of that started our program. Yeah, they pay for $555 of the $750. That means $195 pays out of your pocket, and then IAMS pays for the rest. So I do a lot of workshops, a lot of seminars, as you know, almost 500. But I leave to this. I said, folks, and I'll say this to you, in my 30 plus years of doing this business, I don't think I've ever had anyone run up to me and say, you know what, Dave, you can't believe how much money I've made from procrastinating. I got rich from procrastinating. Just doesn't happen, does it? The people who take action are normally the people who are the most successful. Procrastination is my sin. It brings me constant sorrow. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop. Tomorrow? Yeah, you know what? Tomorrow never comes, does it? If you heard something in this webinar that you like, then you say, hey, I better talk to Dave Pimper. I don't have all the answers, but I'll tell you, I got a lot of them when it comes to Social Security marketing. Give me a call. We're gonna put up a poll, and I'm gonna switch my headset on over to Steve Murray again. But on this poll, if you would like to go in and talk with me for, say, 25 minutes, not one of my associates, but with myself, and we're talking about marketing. My goal is to increase not just your knowledge of Social Security. That in itself doesn't make you money, but increasing your knowledge and then getting in front of qualified prospects like the one I talked about. Yeah. You have 700,000 that you're working with. I'll tell you right now, that's a big deal. I never would have had the chance without knowing that Social Security. And I found them a benefit. That they never would have found before. So I'm going to switch this over to Steve. That poll's up. We're going to pull that down here in a couple minutes, but I'd love to talk with you. I'm going to switch it on over to Steve Murray, co-owner of the FMO IAMS.
Thank you, Dave. It was great to see you working live. Never get to see that. We're generally not in the same room when we're doing these, so it's fun to watch Dave at work. It's not only fun to watch Dave at work here, but it's fun to watch him work and see the success that we see when he works directly with producers. We're big believers here at IAMS that if you're going to do seminars at all, you need to do them right, and to really do every step of the way correctly, you really need to have somebody guiding you that has a lot of experience. And of course, Dave, as you all have garnered from his comments and from my comments as we got started here, has a ton of experience with seminars and has done a really, probably as many Social Security seminars now as anybody out there. So good to have him on your side for sure. If you need that coaching, or I should say, if you want to do those seminars, you do need that coaching. And I think you have to decide at this point that if you don't have a way that you're seeing people on a regular basis and you want to try a relatively easy way to make that transition, Social Security seminars is going to be probably the easiest of any seminar that you would do, just because of the way that you are viewed and the way that you present yourself at those seminars as more of a teacher than a kind of quote unquote entertainer. So if that's something you have interest in, hit yes on that poll. We will get Dave and his team working with you and see if it's a good fit. If it is, I would really love that we would pay for most of that for you, because there's nothing but benefit to you. And when you win, we here at IAMS win in a number of different ways as well, not only with your loyalty and your business over time, but just creating a new relationship, which is kind of the lifeblood of our business over the years. So we'd love to have that get started. If you have questions or concerns, or maybe you're not sure if that's a good fit, you have to decide whether it might be worth a 15-minute conversation with Dave. In my opinion, the answer to that would be yes. As I mentioned earlier, the coming years, the coming 5, 7, 10 years could literally change the direction of your business and change really the direction of your life, really, if you're willing to try some things that maybe are just a little bit different and maybe not so hard. And this would fall into that for you. So if you're wondering whether it's something you might want to try, keep in mind the opportunity that's in front of us. There are people moving into the Social Security system at record rates, and they need help. They're not getting it from the Social Security Administration because by charter they're kind of limited in what information that they can make available to them. So they do need your help. And when they start putting that in tandem with the other retirement goals and trying to line up the assets to try to meet those goals, you can help them with that as well. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to just be needing exactly that assistance, and you can certainly help them with it if you have the right system, and we can help you with that. So I hope you'll put yes on that poll. Again, this is not for everyone, and so if it's not for you, or if maybe you're doing it and you're happy with your transition language, which seems to be the area that most guys that do the Social Securities do struggle with, Dave has kind of gotten that down to a science through trial and error. He'd be the first one to tell you that that was kind of a rough part of his start as well, and getting that figured out has really been one of the keys to his success. And he's helped many of our guys. We had one guy that was seeing plenty of people in seminars but was not able to get that converted to business. And it really is a teachable, learnable process that you can go through. So Dave has been really good at putting that process together and helping all of our guys, specifically that gentleman. I know that he's increased his closing percentage enough that he's doing as many Social Security seminars as he can do right now. So I would encourage you, if you're doing that already but maybe not seeing the success that you'd like, you're not converting the way that you'd like, or maybe you tried it and it didn't convert the way that you would like, I would definitely encourage you to jump back in. There's opportunity there. So with that, there are a couple of questions. So Glenn asks if the slides are going to be made available. We can make some of the slides available, but as you all know, we do record these events. So after the event, you're going to get a request to have that sent out to you. And if you answer yes, we'll send you a recording of this event and you can listen to it. Dave, if you do decide to coach, we'll also make available to you a taped version of him doing the Social Security seminar, which is invaluable. It's actually a video of him doing one that we recorded probably in the last 12 months or so. So it's pretty current. That's invaluable to helping you get started with us. So I hopefully that helps, Glenn. We have a couple other questions, Dave, and I'm going to need to turn the headset back over to you here really quickly. There's about 6 questions that have to do with Social Security and the cost of the seminars and what you're seeing for results, which I think is a good, valid question, and I know you've got some input on that. So if you can talk about your spend and your return on Social Security seminars, I think that would be helpful.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Yeah, I will say this, and again, Social Security seminars or seminars marketing in general, it's certainly not for everyone because there is an expense. I mean, when I mail out 6,000 pieces, we have a full color front and back. Now it's a big piece. It looks like it's a mail piece. We still go the old-fashioned mail. And it's big. It's like 11 inches wide and 17.5 inches long. So it's like a great big, they call you the instructor, the class time will be. So it looks like it's from the Metro Tech, from an educational setting. They cost 55 cents each. We mail out 6,000. So there's $3,300 that is wrapped up into the mailing, and that's 98% of all the expense. Okay, you have $100 for the 800 number. Most of the times it's done at a college or a library. Library is a perfect place to have it. We give water and some pastries or some candy, but certainly it's under $1 a person, for the cost of the food. So you might have $3,500 wrapped up into it. And what we try to get we try to go in and get 10 appointments. 10 appointments. That's about between $300 and $350 an appointment. My last appointment from what we mailed out, we went in and got, it was about $275 an appointment. And if you look they've heard you there. They view you as the expert, but that's the cost. And what we hope happens is that if I can get 10 minimum, last time I got 14 on the standalone night. I got 6. So between 3 nights, we got 20 appointments, and I was pretty darn happy with that. But of those 20 appointments, normally half of those people either just want Social Security information, or they want they just don't have the money to invest. And of those 20 appointments that I had, I remember, I should really say the 14, because that's what I had at one time. And you know what? The goal is to get at least 10. But if I have 7 appointments left out of 14, of the 7, we hope to close a third to a half of those people. So from 2 to 3 of those folks, we would certainly hope that we could close. And you know what? I mean, and it isn't like I'm trying to go in and 20 times my money and 30 times my investment. You know what? If I can go in and put $250,000 or $300,000 on from a seminar, I'm happy. I've paid back all of my expenses. I've put some money in my pocket to enable me to do more marketing. And it's just nice to have a lot of appointments set up. And I'm in front of a lot of people. So that kind of gives you a little bit of the idea of kind of the mailing and what the cost is. Remember, as the coach, many people have blueprints, but they don't have someone that steps them through. Just like the video that we made of myself at a live presentation. I mean, I've got guys, which is fine. They're telling my jokes and they're telling my little innuendos. That's fine if that helps you go in and to have a better seminar. Then that's wonderful. Here is a question that came on up. It says, if a spouse is already taking Social Security benefit, but the other spouse wants to wait until she gets to age 70 to take her Social Security benefit, can she file the restricted application? So here's what happens is, as long as the other spouse is taking theirs, let's say the woman's taking hers, and the man wants to delay, as long as he was 66 after January the 1st of this year. If he's 64 as of this year, January 1, and once he's 66, he can restrict it. So if his is at 2,000 and hers is at 1,000, he can go in and get half of her $500 or $6,000 a year. Yes, you can do that. Yeah. If you want any more, if you marked yes, we talk, then I can certainly go more into depth on that. Okay, so I'm going to hand this back over to Steve, and I know we're a little over time, I apologize for that, but we will wrap it on up here.
Thank you, Dave, and thank you all for your attention. I'm going to go ahead and close that poll out. Again, it looks like there's 2 or 3 of you that have not voted, which is fine. I'm assuming that's because you are in a position where you cannot. Simply give us a call if you want to get a minute or 2 with Dave, and we will arrange that. That's no big deal at all. Just give us a call here at the office at 800-255-5055. I think that, too, when you hear Dave answer those questions, as I mentioned, he's got a lot of expertise in Social Security. And so I think one thing that might keep people from wanting to move down this path is I think it's a complicated subject and they don't know that they're going to have the resources to get all their questions answered. And so with our offering, there's really a couple via the Horse's Mouth program you've got where you can email and get a quick answer back. What most folks choose to do when they work with Dave is just call Dave, and 99.9% of the time he can answer that question because he's had it before. So you got great resources there. Not to say there's not some time you'll want to spend to get some training and some time you want to spend to understand how to use the software, but the learning curve is short and small, and Dave has done a great job with shortening it up and smalling it down even more. So with that being said, I hope that's something that you might want to take advantage of. Again, our goal here at IAMS is to give you opportunities and ideas and thoughts to help you grow your business. We know that's how we earn your loyalty over time, and by earning your loyalty in your business, that's how we are successful. And so we're going to keep every Tuesday morning, we're going to throw something at you. I think we've got something a little bit new next Tuesday regarding required minimum distributions and in-service withdrawals from 401ks. So tune in next Tuesday with Dave and I, me to for my charm and Dave for his knowledge. He loves to hear that face to face. We appreciate the fact that you were able to take some time with us here today. Thank you again for being part of the IAMS family, and we look forward to helping you in any way, anything that we can do to help you all. Just give us a call here at the office, 800-255-5055. Ask for myself or any one of our sales directors. Thank you again for your time this morning, and have a great finish to your week. And don't forget to vote.
I'm not sure that my check that I'll get from IAMS this month, but whatever it is, I earned every penny of it during that. I was on a roll today. That's good. Look at all the yeses. You know what else?